This is such a exciting time to be alive, I believe, because suddenly the collective consciousness of mankind has suddenly become more receptive. And everyone's going, okay, all these social structures that are in place and the governments and blame, it's not working. What have I got? Actually, what have I got? And so it causes people to go inside of themselves and seek out teachers like yourself. And so what's exciting to me is that the whole message is going mainstream. Mm-hmm. And I know The Secret had a great influence on the world. I'm sure if we had a little thought-o-meter that could have measured the consciousness level, that it would have been a little blip.
You are right. It's happening now.
It's
this
awesome,
is what 2012 is all about. It's what it's always been all about. This metamorphosis of consciousness going from the dark into the light. Nostradamus picked up on it. Every one of them picked up on it. It's just that unfortunately a lot of them presume that of the possible probabilities that we might choose from based on our focus, we would choose that unwisely. But so much is indicating that we are choosing wisely. Look at what happened in Egypt this past week. Look what's going on in the Middle East. Look what's going on in the United States and elsewhere. People are opening up to new possibilities instead of resisting.
That's right.
If there was a continuation of the resistance, like there is in Iran, we would inevitably see this inner resistance translated into physical storms, literally. That's what they were tuning into. But it is so exciting to be alive and to have teachers like you suddenly come along to remind us of the simplicity and the truth of our power and the possibilities that exist for all of us.
Yeah, it's amazing. So do you feel like you're celebrating your contribution to this? Because you're a teacher to hundreds of thousands now, Mike.
Thank you. Yes. I don't dwell on that, and I don't mean that to be modest.
That's for you, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's for everybody, no matter where you are. You have your own ambitions, you have your own goals, whether you're Barack Obama or Dawes or Mike Dooley, your life is still about you, and I've said openly in a lot of my work that, you're not here to save anybody, you're not here to be selfless, you're here to follow your bliss. My bliss is me living my life now. It's a fringe benefit that I get so many great emails of appreciation from people all over the world, but moreover, it's me working with, discovering and exploring my creativity, my value fulfillment, my ability to be of service for a reward, a financial reward. I love the whole, I think that life is the ultimate Nintendo game. It's like, oh man, I don't do those games because I'm so engrossed and happily so in this game now, where I get to kind of negotiate and figure and plot and experience and thrive and be and there's consequences to every single thought, word, and deed I choose, know, and if I'd like to maneuver towards abundance or a new relationship or more travel, I can have it all. I can have it all. But it's up to me to play the game right. And it's like, that's the coolest thing.
I always say that the greatest teachers are actually the most active students. Because I'm sure that you're actually fine-tuning stuff too, right?
I speak, every audience I speak to, I feel like that I'm speaking more for me than them. But it's like a great...
if they get something out of it,
if they get something out of it, great. And they're there, they're happy, they appreciate it. But I'm like, dang, how cool is this? I get to talk about this and really drive it home, get it, catch it.
So cool. Really cool.
Well, Illusions, it says, you teach best what you most need to learn.
Absolutely.
And I've shared that with my audiences, and I'm not ashamed to say or embarrassed to say that I'm learning, and it's cool to learn.
Yeah, there's a cool saying that's coming to me. When you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rotten. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have.
It's an old one. Okay, so the life of Mike. What are your daily isms? Do you wake up and what's on the first part of your to-do list for the day?
Let's see. Take the dog out, give him breakfast, get dressed and ready for the day. And usually before I leave my home, before I come to world headquarters here, I have a 4-minute, 5 to 10 second visualization. I just sit down in the dark and the quiet in my home office, and I just visualize. And people often say, what is it you're after now? and this is something that I've taught, but really the ultimate end result is happiness. Not because material things don't matter, they do.
Yeah.
They really matter, a ton to me.
Yeah.
But the way you get material stuff, the way you manipulate the material world is through your own happiness. And so when I visualize now, I'm just so happy. I'm just seeing people, seeing you, seeing friends, family, loved ones, and I'm just like, woo, so happy.
Yeah.
And I just hold that for 4 minutes. And then I go out the door and I come here with Con, my dog.
Yeah.
And usually stay here a conventional 8 hours when I'm in town, and go home and smoke a cigar.
Cool. So, because my next question was, what's your favorite quintessential metaphysical workout? And that would be that 5 minutes of feeling the bliss.
Yeah, probably that and or smoking cigars.
Yeah? Good for you. Fully present, enjoying the now when you smoke a cigar.
Yes, that totally brings me now.
Cool, man. So when it comes to your writing and your creating, because you're an artist ultimately of the soul first, and then second of all of words, is there something that you do to become the right condition for that process to be really just authentic and for it just to work?
Well, as far as the art of writing goes, in addition to my once a day for 4 minutes visualizing happiness, I visualize for 1 minute myself feeling like I've just written something amazing.
Yeah.
So for 1 minute, I'm just like, whoa, I love this job. I feel so good. Knowing that the only way that can come back to me made manifest is if I do end up writing well. And I'm given the inspiration, the ideas, etc., which come forth once I start step 2 of all creation, and that is taking action. Step 2, after you have an end result and you think about it, is do something about it. So I just start writing on the computer the first crazy stuff that comes to mind. But because I'm then in action, it's as if I can tune into something much greater. And eventually I do have that feeling all over again that I wrote really well. That's my artistic ritual, if you will.
It's fun, isn't it? I love it. That's cool. So you got books, audio programs. You were a spiritual movie star even. For me, there's one thing that definitely sets you into an authentic and very unique league of your own, and that is the galactic gig, which is speaking on behalf of the universe.
Wow. Wow. I don't take myself too seriously, but shockingly, I've been writing notes from the universe for 10 years. And it's been the lifeblood of all that I do. It's how Rhonda and Glenda found me and asked me to be in The Secret. It's how others have found me. People needing speakers have found me. It's how I found myself. And from that, there's been books and audios and world tours, etc.
It's cool, you know, like 360,000 subscribers plus, is that right?
Yeah, plus.
Yeah, like wow, you know, it's such a beautiful thing for me to sit with you and know, like for me, getting the notes of the universe has definitely helped nurture NOWISM into literally what it is, you know. Like I've been one of those people that sat and waited for that message, you know, and I know what it is to also sit there and to speak on behalf of source energy, you know, and it's such a, it's humble and it's true, and you know, the universe is just what it is, and I think that you articulate it in such a fun way, you know.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you. I do love it, and I like playing with it, and I like punctuating a lot of the notes with a little bit of humor, because I think it's not just fun to do, but I think it's more reflective of divine intelligence.
Yeah.
Playful, happy, joyful.
Super cool, happy now thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Love it. One of the other things that I love about your, I go daily. You can pick how often we hear from you, right?
Yes.
And I go daily because it's cool. And there's a really strong charity presence that you have there. And so what I wanted to ask you is the art of giving for you, is that an important spiritual practice, spiritual or whatever? You know,
I don't think of anything as important almost, you know, because then it gets into rites and rituals and did I do enough and it's like, you know.
Just feels good.
You know, you get to a point, and you're probably there, where life is so sweet, and it's not like you feel guilty, although that almost happens sometimes, but you just know that it's not as sweet for other people by their own creation, but that doesn't mean you don't lend a hand, and that doesn't mean I didn't benefit when I was down and out by others who lent a hand. You know, it's all about we are all one. When one falls, we all fall. When one slips, we all slip. When one succeeds, we all succeed. And so I'm mindful and have been mindful of how well things have been going for me and at different points in my life, and most certainly the last 7 or 8 years now. And so it sounds corny and cliche, but you want to give back. You want to give back. Absolutely. You want to say thank you. And you don't know who to say thank you to in a sense. I don't want to pretend that God's an old white man, but to life itself. And, you know, I had great parents and great brother and sister and lots of love and wonderful holidays. And a lot of people don't have that. And it's like, how can I help bridge the gap? And so now I speak in prisons weekly when I'm in town, the Orange County Jail. I'm putting together a program of infinite possibilities for them and other disadvantaged people. And until we create that charity to where we're able to accept money and put it to learning materials, we are instead, and have been for 3 years now, deflecting. Every month we raise money and just give 100% of it, dollar for dollar, to a charity of the month. And we've raised almost $250,000 now.
That's
and
great.
very happy and proud about that.
Yeah, it's inspiring to me to see someone in overflow, because you understand the laws and it's working for you, you're working with it, you can become a distribution center of A1 love, which is your notes and inspiration, but then also like the physical, you know, stuff. I think
all
that's
of it. Well, we all are. That's a good way to put it. Distribution centers, redistribution centers, you know, and we get for free. It's how much do we give?
It's resource.
And it doesn't mean be selfless or give, you know, everything away. It just means, you know, allow, receive, give, let the energy flow. And if you want to buy yourself a really cool toy or a fast car or a mansion on a hill, go do it. Please go do it. But, you know, the more you open up the spigots, in a sense, the more the flow increases, although that's never in our thinking here as to giving. It's like we really just feel blessed. I speak on behalf of my 5 team members, and it's just like, you know, this is one of the funnest, coolest, most selfish things we do is to give back, you know, for ourselves as much as them.
In NOWISM, I have a fun little symbol for giving or being in overflow, and that's the genie. When you normally think of a genie, you think of rubbing a lamp and asking, but what we say is to be a genie and to generate, to let it come from inside of you. Good. So it's called generosity.
Nice.
Is that my accent? Yeah. So I love the idea of being in overflow. I look forward to being a bigger distribution center. I'm a distribution center.
Oh yes, you are.
Yes.